All systems go. Clear for liftoff.
What's going on? Sean, Jordan, Go Collect, Richard, Philly Phantom, Christian, our man Nades, Andrew, my man Hoop. How we doing today, Hoop? 2-game slate on a Monday. If you like Showdown more, hey, you have that option to play Showdown. Actually, not only one game you can play it on, you can also play 2 games of Showdown. If you want to play a 2-game slate, you can do that. If you want to play it all, you can mix up your bankroll 30-30. What would that be? 30-30-40 if you want to do whatever you want to do. There's a lot of prizes out there. We're talking football. That means it's a good day over here. How you doing?
Doing well, man. Doing well. I like these little 2-game slates, a little change of pace. Like you said, if you like the 2-gamers, you can play the 2-gamer. If you like the Showdown, you can play the Showdown. If you like both, you can play both. And like you said, kind of split it up. So it gives you some options. I like it. Just wanted to shout out our teacher friend Derek. Make sure those kids are busy, man. Get them on something for the next 45 minutes so you can stay tuned into the show. We always appreciate your support. And then this is my main gripe for sure, and a great comment here, man. I wish DraftKings would fix pricing. This always soft shit is lame. When they have these 2-game slates, that is definitely my gripe. They're just rolling out with the same pricing that they would have on a normal slate. Well, we have a lot of undesirable fantasy options, I would say, on the slate. So you have to bump these prices up. The one thing I definitely say when you build teams, just don't even look at the salary or what's left. Like I don't even think you could really build a team and fill out all the salary. Like I think it's probably impossible. So everyone's dealing with it. I do wish they would change it up a little bit, but you just don't even salary is not a factor at all on the slate because of the pricing and on these smaller slates, these standalone smaller slates, I really wish they would adjust things, and they just never have. So everyone has to play with the same parameters. It is unfortunate though, for sure, but I like it regardless. 2-game slate, like I said, if you like the Showdown, you can still play the Showdown. Big prize pools. DraftKings 500,000 up top for the 2-game slate. So that'll be my main focus for tonight, and really the main focus of the show. We'll talk about all the plays as we go on, but we're going to be more focused on the 2-gamer.
Yeah, absolutely. Mainly the 2-game, $500K. It's hard to pass that up. $20. But hey, even if you don't do that big contest, solid $3 contest, very good single entry contest out there as well. Yeah, your story of the slate with how soft the pricing is like there's no tight end. If you look at tight end pricing, I like the onesie positions. No one's above 4K. You look at receiver, only one receiver above 6.5K, only 4 people 6K and above. Quarterback, no one above 6K. Like it's almost impossible to spend all your salary. If you have a team with 2,200 left in the big one, I would not worry about that one bit. To be honest, the more money you leave, the better it can be for yourself. Again, 2 games on tap, both 44.5 totals, Miami Jets and the Broncos and the Bengals. 3-point favorites are the Dolphins. 7.5-point favorites are the Broncos. We will be talking position by position. I think that's the best way to cover this. And I'm already tilted on this show. So I think my camera is going in and out again. And that makes me realize that it wasn't my old camera. It was something that, I don't know, the adapter of this. So I bought a whole new camera, and I have the backup sitting right next to me. And it's not even the one I ordered. So I don't know what's going on. I got to figure that out.
Seems like it's still working. There's just some flashes that are popping in and out. But
that was going on before too. Tambo said the flashing. I don't know.
Yeah,
should I go to the FaceTime ones or the Mac one so it doesn't flash, or keep it?
Yeah, I'll go to the Mac one. That's what I use, and I've had 0 issues with the Mac camera. So I think the Mac camera is definitely the way to go. But in regards to, just to kind of recap yesterday a little bit while you get situated over there, scoring seems just like so high this year. I think it has to do, again, I could be wrong, it has to do with the kickoff thing. A lot of these teams are getting the ball at the 35, 40-yard line, couple plays, they're right there in the opposing red zone, but the scoring has been like substantially higher in fantasy this year, I would say. I mean, some of these games are massive, Puka, all these running backs. I mean, so many running backs, 25 or higher, just absolutely nuking the slate. I'd assume it has to be the kickoff thing. Is that kind of what you're thinking?
Yeah, I think a lot of that has to do with, I mean, starting from the 35 versus the 25 or the 20 is a huge difference, obviously. And I hate that kicking thing. I mean, shout out to Aubrey. That dude has to be the best kick, like, of every part of it. But you can tell he works so much on putting it in the dead zone or whatever the heck you want to call it. Those 15 yards are absolutely massive for your team. I don't know what these other teams, kickers, like, talk about brain dead. Matt LaFleur, I don't want to go on a whole rant, but buddy, you got to call timeout. I get you call plays and you're the head coach. You better hire someone up top to absolutely tell you how to figure out when to call timeouts if you're worried about plays, because inexcusable. I mean, you damn near played for the tie. Like, what in the was that in the fourth? A tie is as good of a loss, in my opinion. You got
7-point. Yeah, you're 7-point favorite. Seconds. You go out there and try to win that damn game. You don't play to try to tie the Dallas Cowboys without their top wide receiver, without, after they traded away one of the best defensive players in the league. Like, you go out there and win yourself a ball game. Like, you do not play to tie against the freaking Dallas Cowboys. That was pathetic.
I mean, neither defense really stopped them all game, but 50 seconds, you pick up a first down, one timeout. Call the timeout. You're on the 12, 13-yard line, 3 shots to the end zone. Instead, you take 20 seconds to run wide receiver screen, it almost looked like, to lose yards, then burn your timeout. I mean, I couldn't. Yeah, I don't want to go on a rant about that. These guys are donkeys at the end of the day.
Our Texans got the job done in Survivor, though. That was big. That was a big one.
Let's go Bengals. That'd be pretty cool. Broncos like 20%. There's been no chaos for all those out in the Survivor streets out there. But, hey, that's good for us.
We got a little blood yesterday in the Chargers, who, I think you and I both said, like, no way we're touching the Chargers. They were, 5, 6, 7% owned. And then the Packers, I thought the Packers would be higher. They're only 3 or 4-ish, but I mean, added up, 10% gone, and we continue to march on.
Yeah, next week looks pretty tough. Excited to see what our man Sheets has to say. We do. I'll throw it to you on that, Hoop. I don't know if many know, we do have pools. It's under the NFL right here, NFL tool and Sheets video. I mean, just the grid alone, the game of Survivor is a lot of fun. You've been playing for a lot of years, but if you want to talk about that, and then, most people in here for DFS, no better time to get in with all the prizes we got going. But yeah, we'd love to have a lot of people at the Nation.
Yeah, the Survivor stuff is a lot of fun, and we have a dedicated Discord channel just dedicated to the Survivor talk, and it's very active. People are liking it, bouncing ideas off of each other. It's just a fun way to mix it up. I mean, obviously we're all playing DFS and whatnot, maybe mixing in some bets, but Survivor is just a kind of another angle. And if you are playing Survivor, nobody is better at analyzing. I've watched a lot of the other stuff too, and it's just so basic, like what everyone's talking about. Like, go on YouTube, so many people are now talking about Survivor, but it's in the most basic manner, short-sighted manner, I would say. Sheets it's an advanced experience, kind of like he is hitting on all angles, and it's an advanced analysis. He touches on single entry, or not single entry, but single picks. He touches on the multiple pick stuff. So it's a lot of fun. And like you said, it's right under the NFL tab on our homepage there. Yeah, right down there. So it's been a lot of fun, and looking to kind of build it up, the community, to be honest with you. It's been fun. I love going in the Discord and seeing what everyone has to say, and like I said, bouncing ideas off of each other. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Sheets does a review video for free on Tuesdays, and then a premium video on Wednesdays. So if you do want to check out the pools or anything at the Nation, if you go to shipnation.com, we have a Join the Nation. If you just want football, and I say football because not only NFL, but the college football streets. I was in there on Saturday. They went good. Our projections look money. Dollar Bill, Smarty, Hammock. The crew does a great job there. There's very few harder grinds out there than college football. I'll throw NBA up there for sure. Yeah. Shout out to NBA. Shout out to our man Rio. That's coming back before we know it. College football is a very news-oriented, and I'm talking this guy's not warming up or this guy's on the sideline 5 minutes before. You have the notifications on in the college football chat. Those guys always have you covered. A lot of money in the college football streets too. So we have a $349 football package still. A lot of NFL to be played, a lot of college football to be played. If you do want, though, MMA, NASCAR, MLB playoffs. Your Tigers get in. They start tomorrow.
Don't get me started on that, man. Do not get me started on that. That has me mega tilted.
Yeah, so a lot of sports going on, though. We'd love to have you at the Nation. And if you do join, definitely do get in the Discord, the best community around. Anything you want to add to that, Hoop? Otherwise, you kind of said broad slate overview. I mean, it's 2 games. There's only a handful of options at each position, but the salary is what mainly stands out. And then going to like tight end. So we're going to screen share Saber. We're going to go position by position. Again, we have our Shipnation projections and ownership. If you want to take we'll just take an average. We'll go average from Shipnation and SaberSim. The nice thing you can do if you are on the starter pack, you do get SaberSim projections for all those, but you can see like no one above 3.7 for salary at tight end, no one above 6K. Jamar Chase in a tier of his own, just even with how bad they've looked, you have no one to spend. So you'll just naturally click on Chase. Any broad slate before we go QBs and position by position?
Yeah, just real quick before we fully hop into it, I just wanted to remind everyone that the email will be going out for the 199 people that will be selected to play in the Ship It Games contest to win the golden ticket. That will be going out, I believe, either tonight or tomorrow early. So make sure to continue to check your email to see if you are indeed a winner of one of those tickets. So, and then also one other thing, we had a couple big wins. Our guy Jay Walken, he's been with us since day one, founding family member, took down $100,000. So I wanted to congratulate him on a huge win. He's grinded his ass off and got that big win. So congratulations to him. And then we had the $20,000 winner in the college football streets, Danny Draper. So congrats to the winners. Jay Walken, I believe, lives relatively close to me. He was at the Rocket Mortgage event when we were all there a couple years ago. So I definitely wanted to congratulate him on that big win.
It was a sweat too. Someone right behind him at Genty. I was following it in the $100. He was up there for a little bit. I mean, what a great team! You got like the Puka Chalk. I mean, that dude's a grown ass man. I don't know. Jets has always been my favorite, and I thought he's the best. Puka's definitely in that territory, and I wouldn't argue if anyone had him above. Or Chase is up there too. But.
It is, it had me thinking yesterday because I know Tambo was on Stafford, and I ended up playing a little bit of Stafford. After the show yesterday, I didn't have any, and that's one thing I always do on the show. I'll take notes of what you guys are saying and make adjustments to my player pool. So I did add him in, and that just got me thinking. It's like this dude throughout his career has just done such a phenomenal job taking wide receiver ones and making them the wide receiver number one in the NFL, like what he did with Calvin Johnson, what he's doing now with Puka. I mean, he does a really good Cooper Kupp as well. I mean, it's like he takes these guys who appear to be the best, one of the best wide receivers in football, and then just takes them to the next level where they are the best wide receiver in football. And that's like right now where Puka is. Obviously, like with Jamar Chase, unfortunate situation with Burrow being out. I mean, I'm sure if Burrow was in, it would be close between those two. But right now, it's Puka, and I don't see it changing anytime soon. I mean, that connection is. I don't even. Some of the plays is like, how do you even begin to try to defend that? The touchdown was just so easy that he had. I mean, he was already like 11 for 140 at the time, and then just boom, little slant touchdown. Like, how do you even start to try to defend that? It's impressive.
Too big, too fast, too strong, plays too hard. And shout out Stafford. I mean, no one's as tough as Stafford out there. But he just gets the ball out so fast. He's puts it where it needs to be. A guy that's not mobile, but he's found a way to survive in the NFL and do more than survive for a long time without really having legs. So it's fun to watch for sure. But we'll talk. Massive MLB slate tomorrow. It's fun. MLB playoffs, NBA will be here, MMA, NASCAR, NFL. It's the best time of the year for sure.
So the one thing with like you were kind of talking about, like with the salary and stuff, with all the guys included, like you look at it and you kind of sort by salary, and then you got Jamar Chase at $8K, then $1,000 down to Achan, and then Chase Brown, a lot of guys in that 6K range. What the pricing will do on the slate, which you can already see by the projected ownership on some of these guys, is people don't like leaving big old chunks of salary on the table. So Jamar Chase, Achan are going to be massively owned on the slate. Achan probably makes sense. I mean, running back's pretty weak, but wide receiver, Jamar Chase has Jake Browning throwing him the ball. And we saw what that looks like last week. Now, they could do better this week. There's no doubt about it. But Jamar Chase is going to be massively owned because of the salary that we have available, not because of how good of a play he is on the slate. And that's one thing to take into account. So, like, when you build a team and you're like, oh, I have $99,000 left, I'll just play Jamar Chase. Like, you're going to have to force yourself to not do that and say, all right, I'm not going to play Chase. I'm going to play T. Higgins or whatever it is, whatever the team looks like, and just be willing to leave that big, massive chunk of salary on the table. If you're hand building, it's hard to do. It definitely is hard to do. It's hard to force yourself to do that. If you're using SaberSim and you have the top package and you can do contest sims, it's just naturally going to do some of that stuff for you. But a lot of people play, probably 3 to 5 lineups and hand build those 3 to 5 lineups. If you do that, just got to be willing to get a little uncomfortable with it, because it's only 2 games and there's a limited number of options to choose from on the slate. So it's going to be hard to get difference and be hard to get unique, but just don't jam in and try to get close to filling out the salary, like just to fill it for the sake of filling out the salary. And it's tough to do. Again, it is hard to say, all right, I have $3,000 left, I'm good. It is hard to do that, but you definitely have to convince yourself that it's the right move on the slate.
Absolutely. What I would do, especially when hand building, it's a lot easier to do than like if you're using SaberSim and stuff. You hope like they do take all of that into consideration. There's so much power to SaberSim. Someone asked like a max salary. You can absolutely do a max salary or something like that. But just tell like you said, the Chase to Higgins. That's a lot of money, $2,400. Tell yourself, can you see Higgins outscoring Chase? He's done it multiple times. People are already talking about Surtain shadowing this and that. But that is what I would do. When leaving chunks of salary, you look at the upgrades you can get and you say, can you see this guy that you're giving up all the salary, leaving the salary with, outscoring that guy? And if you can, and I see right there projection points, about 5 points for Chase and Higgins. We see people projected 5 points less than people all the time outscore them. So that is something I would be willing to do. And that shows right away. You can leave 2,400 on this slate very easily. And that is just a 1v1 right there. So let's go and talk quarterbacks. Again, we're going to go position by position. We appreciate the like button, subscribe button. Our man Tambo is out today, but I don't want to get yelled at. Tambo, nobody better in the business than getting those likes up. So do us a favor. Maybe he will be impressed coming back and seeing those like numbers. Quarterback. And what I also did, not sure many or people probably know this, but if you go to filters or this button right here, filters, click on it. I said show players with the projection greater, and I just put 1. So I don't want to see all these zeros and have them checked. This makes it a lot easier on the eye. So obviously only 4 quarterbacks to work with. When we go to running backs, you can see any of them that are projected. Quarterbacks, 4 quarterbacks on the slate. I would say none of them. It's fine. Bo Nix and Justin Fields. Obviously, we have our ownership. We took the averages, SaberSim and Shipnation, the 2 chalkiest quarterbacks. Looking at passing props, Tua leads it, 235.5 yards. Bo Nix comes in number 2, 221.5. Browning, 219.5. Fields all the way down to 184.5. Obviously, though, Justin Fields has his rushing upside. Missed last week. He is a full participant this week. Yeah, just talk quarterbacks. Like if you play Fields, how does it look like pass catching wise? If you play the other ones, are you going to force at least 1, 2, 3, break down the QB position?
It is tough. It is tough and very ugly and nasty when you start to to really look at some of this stuff. And, we don't have, I guess Bo Nix would be the most stable option, the one I probably have the most confidence in not fully busting. I think Fields, Tua, Browning have very high bust potential. Fields maybe a little bit less just because of the rushing ability, but any of these guys score 10 or below, I wouldn't be surprised. Just like a full, just nasty, like just didn't get there sort of game. With Browning, okay, like he has Jamar Chase, he has T. Higgins, like he has guys, wide receivers that are going to be played on this slate. Like you're going to have to play Chase, you're going to have to play play Higgins. So it's hard to exclude him. In the past on these 2-game slates, I try to just eliminate one quarterback and say it's just not going to be that guy. And, I hope it's one of the other 3 and I'll have a leg up on the competition because I'll be overweight on all 3 of those other guys. I just can't do that this slate. Preference, it's boring. I mean, I would go Bo Nix 1. I think he's the most stable and most likely, I guess, to be the leading scorer on the slate. He's projected the highest, and he's going to be the highest owned. So that's really not saying anything. Justin Fields, probably number 2, just because of the rushing ability. And then like Tua, Browning, it's gross and nasty out there. The one challenge with someone like Fields, I guess it's not a challenge because you don't have to pair him with anyone, especially on this 2-game slate. But there's really only like one pass catcher you kind of want him with, and that would be Garrett Wilson. I guess long story short, like I'm going to focus in, I guess, and it's going to be the popular route for sure, but Bo Nix and Fields. And then, whatever I get of Tua and Browning, I'm kind of fine with. It just seems so likely that one of those guys probably busts. I don't know. I don't have a strong lean. I don't think many people will. I will be focusing though on Nix and Fields. Like Fields has the most outs, I'd say, to be the highest scoring quarterback. And there's no doubt about it. The way this pricing is, like the highest scoring quarterback on the slate is going to be in the optimal lineup. It's not like, Browning or Tua is the cheapest at 52. If he's 5 below Bo Nix, he could be on the winner. No, whoever the highest scoring quarterback on the slate is going to be on the optimal team or the winning team, almost certainly. So it makes it very tough. I'm not going to take any strong stances. I'm going to play these guys and just probably lean into Nix and Fields a little bit, but I really have nothing here.
Yeah, the guy I haven't built yet, and I know I won't be Xing any of the 4. A lot of the times we talk about it, even if you were even with the field on all 4 quarterbacks, you trust yourself to build better lineups than those 88,000 people in that big contest or whatever you're playing. There's a lot of dead teams or teams that look really, really bad, especially today when people will be just forcing themselves to use all the salary. Those lineups could be duped a ton like that. You can be even with the field if you want on all of them and still build a lot better lineups plus EV lineups. So I don't think you need to go, or like I won't be getting too crazy overweight stances. I do know Fields is my favorite. 46.5-yard rushing prop. There's just so many outs to get there that way. And like you mentioned, there's only one pass catcher you like. But yes, he's the second highest quarterback owned on the slate. We have him 32.5, but you can play him naked. Probably not my favorite way to do it on a 2-game slate, but it's viable. You can easily play him with the Wilson. And the more guys you add after that, they're going to be pretty low owned. So just say he throws a touchdown to Lazard or something like that. You have like a 3% owned wide receiver that worked with your quarterback, and now you have a big leg up on everyone. Very low owned people mean even more on 2-game slates. Justin Fields, pair him with your quarterback. One play can flip the whole slate there. So what'd you get? Going to have a Fields day? I'll see myself out. Yeah, I hope so. After that, well, I really like
the other thing to add on to that point about Fields, like 16 could be the winning score at quarterback today, and I wouldn't be surprised. Like, would you be surprised if it was 15 or 16? There's a path to that easily. Like if he has 16 fantasy points, the Broncos spank Cincinnati and they're just running the ball the entire second half. Like that's how it could get there. Like I would not be surprised if 15, 16. So when you really have in the baked in 5 to 6 fantasy point floor with just the rushing for Fields, like it's probably even more valuable on a slate like this. So maybe Fields is the number one guy here.
Yeah, and like Bo, I don't want to say Bo Nix is my least favorite because I haven't built. I don't know where I'm going to end up. But just looking at it and looking at ownership, I know I prefer Fields. Tua showing less than half of that, and like Tyreek, one of these days, I'm hoping it's today. I'm going to have a ton of Tyreek. But man, it's just one play, 70 yards, boom.
Yeah.
Like Tua scoring 9 points or whatever on one drive because of Tyreek. Like that's huge on a slate like this. When you said you couldn't see maybe more than 16 being scored. I hope it, like when I'm not playing Tua, we'll get to like the Ollie Gordon stuff. But man, if Ollie Gordon didn't have his game against the Bills, really, Tua and them were moving the ball. Achan's just so involved. So you can play Tua with Achan, Waddle with Tyreek, Washington. There's a lot of different ways to go the Tua route. Browning's the one, like it's just really weird. Why is Browning the second highest quarterback price quarterback on the slate, again, pricing really doesn't matter much. It only keeps his ownership lower. The offensive line has been so bad with Burrow, with Browning, etc. But let's just look back at like his 2023, 2024 performances. 29 DK points, 24, 22, 19, 21, 19. Like that was a stretch all from him, 7 games in a row. This year, yeah, it hasn't been as great, but he still scored 20 against Jacksonville. He's a lot better than most backup quarterbacks in the league. We talk about get a wide receiver screen to Chase. He takes it 70 yards of the house. Right there, Browning, huge boost because his receivers can do a lot of the work for him. I just like there's no way I can cross him off at 10% ownership on the slate where I think quarterback is, like you said, kind of rough. Bo Nix 4 times the ownership there. I just think, to be honest, I'm going to lean into mainly these other 3, and I'll be underweight Bo. And I'll if you have anything to add, you can. Otherwise, we can go right to running back. And if that's what I'm going to do, J.K. Dobbins and R.J. Harvey, I'm going to hope Denver relies on the run game. The defense gets after Browning a little bit. They get up 14 or whatever. Browning has to throw. That could help him get there in garbage time. Denver takes the arrow to the football more. The chalkiest quarterback in Nick's bus. Yes, Dobbins is getting some ownership. Harvey's not getting ownership, though. He's got big play upside. Dobbins has outsnapped him, RB1. Harvey, the rookie, though, and can be explosive. That's what I'm kind of looking at. If I'm not playing as much Bo Nix, I think I have to lean in to the big favorites in some of these Dobbins, Harveys of the world. But running back's pretty strong, and you can see 4 clear guys getting over 50% ownership. So what do you see in the running back room?
Yeah, and I do like that conversation you kind of laid into there, where you're kind of building out a game script, and that's kind of conversations we have on Showdown, but it's definitely applicable for this 2-game slate too, especially if you're building multiple teams, even if it's just 5, and you're going to be low on a guy like Bo Nix. Well, then you can lean into the running game, the Broncos running game, and then the Broncos defense. Their defense is going to be the most popular on the slate, but it doesn't necessarily matter if you have that sort of game script build going on, because you're saying it's going to be the running backs and the defense and not the quarterback. So build accordingly. You can really play into these game scripts a little bit when you build your teams, whether it's just a few teams or a full 150 person player pool, which you and I will be doing today. Running back, yeah, it's like the 5 guys are going to be very popular. It looks like almost all the ownership here. Achane, again, similar to what we talked about with Jamar Chase, and we'll double down on the Jamar Chase conversation when we get to wide receiver. But people are going to have the money to play Achane. Like, they're just going to have the money at $7,000. It's going to be very easy. His ownership is going to be massive. Saber is showing like 78. We're showing 75. Like, it's going to be up there. Basically, it's going to be at least 75% probably, just because it's going to be very easy. He is probably the most stable play on the slate, most likely. I mean,
got him projected, like, again, taking Shipnation and that. I mean, even with quarterbacks, the highest, with Jamar Chase, the next highest skill position player, 3 points higher than the next. Because his reception floors, we talk about it all the time, is massive. I mean, him and McCaffrey are wild for full point PPR guys. And
it's every sort of game script. It's like if they're playing with the lead, if they're playing from behind, if they're in a neutral game situation, he is active in all those. Like, it's not like if they have a 2 touchdown lead, there's another guy coming in. I mean, obviously Gordon did he have, what was it, the 1 touchdown or something last week? But Achane is just such a safe play on this slate where we just don't have many. If you're deciding between, like, okay, I don't want to play Achane and Chase together, I just want to play one, I would 100% lean on Achane over Jamar Chase. If you're looking for one more spend or a flex option, whatever it is, it just seems like a good play. I think it's a good spot for the Dolphins. They're 0-3, and I don't think they're a very good team, but at home, a Monday night game, like, I like Miami to have success today, and it most likely is through Achane. So he's fine. The next guys, we got Breece Hall, we got J.K. Dobbins. So J.K. Dobbins looks like kind of what sort of work did he have? So we got 11 carries last week to Harvey's. It must have been a big
Harvey. pretty close to 3-1. And they were mixing in the first week, like this baddie guy, Prentice. They were mixing in more of these other guys week 1 and 2, and they pretty much cut those back. It looks almost predominantly with those two, which is good for both of them.
So for me, it's definitely Dobbins, probably over Breece Hall or even Chase Brown. Like I think Dobbins is like the number 2 guy. We have the projections kind of show it opposite. I would prefer Dobbins over Breece Hall. I'd prefer Dobbins over Chase Brown. So he'd be the number 2. And then I kind of view Breece Hall and Chase Brown similarly. I'd probably honestly prefer Chase Brown. So I'd rank those 4 guys, probably Achane, Dobbins, Chase Brown, and Breece Hall. But they're going to be similar. Like those next 3 after Achane, I think similarly owned, similarly projected. So you can kind of play them however you want. Now after that, like who do you mix in? Who do you play? I'm good with Harvey. I mean, if Harvey's really, I'd imagine it's higher than that, right? I mean, we're like, we have it at,
you're saying?
Yeah. We have it at 7. Looks like Sabre has it at like 4. I think it's probably closer to the 7.
Probably. It just,
right.
The reason it's not so, like if Josh Allen was on this slate, that number could be like 14.
Yeah.
But because salary absolutely means nothing, you're still probably right with 7. And it matters a lot. Like 4 versus 7 might not sound a lot, but when you're getting to those very low numbers, that's really, really big. Probably closer to 7 with people wanting to get different, but like you just can't spend all your salary, which is why if you're playing Harvey, that means you're not playing one of those guys above because you only can play 3 max. So it's probably about 6, 7, I would say.
Yeah, and we hit on this in the, like you can leave massive chunks. Like you go in and you look at some of these teams when you start building them out. Like you can leave big. I think it's almost impossible to. I haven't built the actual team. It seems impossible to even get close to spend. I mean, I'm sure you'd be able to do it, but it's going to be Achane, it's going to be Chase, it's going to be
the best players.
It's going to be all the most expensive guys on the slate. And then there's another one. You okay locking Achane? Yes, for sure. Yeah. Like I'm honestly, I try to get pretty aggressive on these 2-game slates where I'll just eliminate a quarterback. I'm not eliminating a quarterback today. I think I'm probably going to play them all. So I'm looking for another route to do something a little different. And even in my 150, I'm considering just locking him and saying it's going to be him that you need on the slate. And it's not a huge advantage because he's going to be probably 75% owned, but still, like if you're saying it's just that guy, like then I have all my teams live because you're going to need him. That's kind of how
you can say the other people are paying the rake. I don't hate that one bit, but
it's not like you're locking a guy that's going to be 30% owned. You're locking a guy that 75% of the field is already playing. You're just betting on him being in the optimal. Like you just need him and that's it kind of thing. So Harvey, I'm fine with. I mean, I'm gonna see. I haven't built teams yet. Like Ollie Gordon, if I get some, I'm fine with. This is a slate. You look at these games, right? You look at these games, and there has to be something weird that happens. Like there has to be a random weirdo that's on the optimal that's like low owned and people aren't expecting. It could be, Ollie Gordon. It could be Harvey. It could be Braylon Allen. Like I'm gonna keep those guys in the pool. If I get some. I get some for sure. Like these games are going to lead to something stupid happening for sure. So you need to be uncomfortable with some of the plays and how some of the lineups look. But again, for the main 4, it's Achane, Dobbins, Chase Brown, and then Breece Hall.
What are your thoughts on if you're playing Achane, playing Ollie Gordon, if you're playing Breece Hall, playing Braylon Allen, Dobbins, Harvey, etc.?
Yeah, I'm not opposed to it. Like, am I actively going to, we talk about this stuff a lot. Like, is it something I'm actively going to be looking to do? No. But if I got some teams with it, I'd be fine with it. Especially the Miami stuff. Like, I think there's a path where Miami does very well tonight and gets back to scoring a lot of points. And if they somehow go out there and put up, mid-30s in actual points, Achane and Ollie Gordon, I think, could get there. Like Ollie Gordon could get you 12, and 12's probably enough on the slate at a flex position or something like that. So yeah, I'd be fine with it, but not actively doing it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm just trying to figure out, like, and I'm not like the Dobbins, Brown, Brees Hall ownership. We all have them 55, 52, 52, pretty much the same for that. I almost want to know, like, if one moonwalks back, is it Chase Brown? Just a 7.5-point dog that's been so bad to start the year. I'm trying to get a feel for that. Like, my favorite after Achane is Dobbins, and I talked about it being lower on Knicks. I just am hoping it's going to be the running game more so with Dobbins. If I'm pairing two running backs, I don't know if it's Dobbins, Harvey is my preferred, or Achane Gordon. It's definitely one of the two. Achane and Gordon, we saw it in the Bills. Like, Ollie Gordon was getting significant work, meaningful work, early down work, red zone work. He falls in the box once and scores 11. Achane can still get there in so many ways catching. I like that. And then Dobbins, Harvey. Harvey has such big play upside. Dobbins leads the slate with the best touchdown prop at -130. Like, Harvey.
Who is that? Dobbins?
Correct.
Yeah.
Achane -120.
Yeah.
So
yeah, for me it's the Miami side, but like I'd be fine with the other. I feel better about Gordon's role than Harvey. The game situation, the way the spread sets up, it's probably better for the Denver running backs where they could just go out and smash them. They're favored by 7.5 or 8, but based on the workload and what I've seen, I just feel better about Ollie Gordon than I do with Harvey. So
I can't argue with that at all.
To answer your question, like, does one of those running backs go backwards? It would have to be probably Brown or Brees Hall, I think. I mean, people are going to want to play Dobbins because they're favored by 7.5, and then obviously Achane is a no-brainer sort of play.
Yeah. Do you have any lean before we get to wide receiver? I think Jordan brought it up. Running back or receiver flex? Again, I haven't built yet, so I don't want to answer necessarily.
I will say it's definitely not tight end, and he didn't include it in the question, but tight end, when we get there, you guys are going to see it's probably the nastiest tight end options of all time. So it's definitely not tight end. So it is either running back or wide receiver. I will be honest, I really just don't have a lean at this point between either two. I mean, it is just it's gross. I mean, it is gross all around.
I think I lean running back.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
it's tough though. I'm not again like.
Yeah, these wide receivers are tough, man. When you look at them, it's probably.
Yeah, and Brees can catch passes out of the backfield. Of course, Achane can. The script for Dobbins, Harvey makes sense. Chase Brown can catch some pass out of the backfield. Some of these quarterbacks a little questionable. Use your safety valves. So if I had to choose, I would choose that. I don't know. Like, I doubt I play any P. Ryan, Batty, Davis myself. That's clearly just 150 plays, but I will be leaving Gordon, Allen, Harvey in.
Yeah.
Braylon Allen is my least favorite. A lot of that has to do with Brees' workload has been great. Like when they got down, Braylon mixed in a lot more, but Brees is separated from Allen more than I initially thought in closer games, and I'm just going to lean into that. So Gordon, Harvey, my clear favorites. Pivots down low. These are the four best. I would rank them. I mean, Achane's clearly the best, but I think Dobbins, Brees, Chase Brown is how I have it after that. But no strong leans. I think I do prefer 3 running backs if having to choose, then 4 receivers, but I will be mixing in both. Let's go to the receiver position. Or you got something to say?
No, I agree. I agree with you.
All right. Nothing else in chat. Receiver position. I think it's easiest to go team by team. I'll let you just start clicking the team. I will filter it out, and I'll add on anything after.
Yeah, I'll just start with the Jets, and it's probably the thinnest wide receiver room on the slate, by a pretty wide margin. That's because Justin Fields runs the ball, and if he passes it, it typically goes to Garrett Wilson or Brees Hall before another wide receiver. So, Garrett Wilson, I think, is fine. I mean, he's had 2 pretty big games this year. I mean, a lot of people thought he wouldn't be able to. So he's got a 22 spot and a 24 spot, a lot of targets. And that's because what I said, like, if he's passing the ball, it's not a lot of options. It's not like they have a wide receiver 3 they're throwing it to, or really an active tight end. It's just going to him. So if they get behind at all in this game, which I think they probably do, I like Miami in this one. Like, Garrett Wilson could get 15 targets, and that's very valuable on what could end up being a pretty low scoring sort of slate. So I'm good with him. I think he's a good play. And Josh Reynolds, I'll keep him in the player pool, but man, I don't anticipate having
first game back after missing for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
he played a lot week 1. Like he was the clear wide receiver 2. Played almost 100% of snaps for him.
Yeah. So I don't know, and they have a lot of dudes, like a lot of active wide receivers, like behind him. Tyler Johnson, what has he done anything? I don't think he's really done anything this year.
Yeah, I mean, because when Josh Reynolds was out, it was Tyler Johnson, Arian Smith, and 3 receiver sets. Obviously, Tyrod played last game. Some of the scripts have been good for him. They've had to play from behind. It's really tough. Smith and Johnson, like, who's going to be that wide receiver 3-ish guy? I will say, like, if one of these two were on the winner, I wouldn't be completely shocked because these guys are going to be on the field and running routes. And Fields can use his legs and escape, so one play can get there. It's just I would only probably play these guys with Justin Fields teams, but I'm not convinced that Tyler Johnson's like 3 times more likely to outscore Smith. That number I'm a little confused about.
Yeah. On the other side, Tyreek and Waddle, I think, are fine. Like I still have, I don't know, I could be wrong, but I still have faith in Tyreek, like being pretty good. Like I just, their team has been a disaster to start the year. Like I think like if they can just get something going, like I think he could just kind of take off. The targets are still there. Just they have not really had the big play upside. They had a 21-yard catch in week 1. He had a 19-yard. These are his longest catches, a 19er in week 3, and had like a 47-yard catch in week 2. I think he gets loose here at some point. So I do like Tyreek quite a bit. Waddle, I'll have some, not super thrilled to play him. But he's fine on the slate. And then my favorite cheapie by far is Malik Washington, and he's 3,500. You're using him in a lot of different formations. I hope the ownership remains true. We're showing 9. Saber has it at 4. I do think it's probably closer to the 9. But to me, I hope it's low. I hope it's lower and people just jam in. The reason why all these cheap guys are showing up with such low ownership, because you just don't need it to complete a roster. Like you just don't need it. So everyone's going to go up. I hope that does keep Malik Washington in check, because they're doing some weird things with him. They're getting him the ball in the red zone. They'll use him on like end arounds and things like that. And 3,500, like to me, is too cheap. So he's by far my favorite cheap wide receiver option on the slate. Hope the ownership stays in check. I think it will. With the Bengals, Jamar Chase, Higgins. Be careful though, like I said, how you play Jamar Chase. Like if you're rounding out a roster and it's already pretty popular. All right, let's say you're playing, I don't know, you're playing Sutton, you're playing Achane, you're playing Bo Nix. Yeah, if you're doing all that and like you're just finishing out your wide receiver spot and you have the money for Jamar Chase, like find a way to not play Jamar Chase. Like find a way to do it. All right. Because like everyone's going to be doing that. And that's why the ownership is so high on Chase. It's not because they love him as a play tonight with Browning at quarterback. It's just because you're going to be able to play him because solid salary allows it. And maybe at the end of the day, it is the right play, but more times than not, in my eyes, I just don't think it is the right play, because you're going to have to beat so many people at the end, because those combinations are going to be so prevalent on other rosters. So I'd be careful with how you play Jamar Chase. I think how you can obviously playing him, like we're playing him, there's no doubt, but how you play him, I think, is very, very important. Higgins is fine, and with Browning, it's tough to get excited about anyone else on the Bengals passing team. Yossi Vash, I can't do it. Broncos, Cortland Sutton, I think is phenomenal play. Troy Franklin, another cheap value, 4,100. What are we showing for him? So he's the one. So that's probably why Malik Washington's not getting much, because people are just going to jam Troy Franklin, and Troy Franklin has been fine. I think he's a fine option. I'll be using him, but I'm not going to get like way overweight on Troy Franklin. If the ownership difference between Troy Franklin and Malik Washington is as much as we're showing, I'll definitely be making a play on Washington over Franklin. And Marvin Mims is kind of like the only questionable guy or impactful questionable guy, but he did practice in full. I'm guessing he plays.
I think so.
Yeah, he practiced in full Thursday and Friday, limited on Saturday. I think he plays, but we'll obviously get that news before lock. So I think he's in, and he's fine too. Big play upside. I'm good with him, but I don't know. Something tells me it's the Miami passing attack. Now that we're talking through this, I like the Miami pass catchers today on the slate. I think
I'm definitely with you there. A couple of things that stands out to me. Marvin Mims, 3.6K, got missed twice on deep touchdowns. I mean, this guy is just a speedster. One play, gets behind the defense. If I'm playing Bo Nix, I do like playing Mims in a lot of those teams because it's just the one play, 60 yards, boom, you get all the points. Whereas when I'm fading Bo Nix, I'm hoping it's more the run game, short passes that way. He's 40%. He's the chalkiest quarterback on the slate. 2-game slates, I really want to think about how to get different when using them. Cortland Sutton's an absolute man. Like, build a Jamar Chase team, drop down to Cortland Sutton, leave 1,900. You're giving up 2 projection points, and you just left $1,900. Easy ways to get different. That's what we keep saying. Salary is pretty irrelevant, and that is why Chase is going to get so much. But Marvin Mims, huge play upside. And then when he does fully get there, it feels more likely Bo Nix gets there. I love your Washington call. I mean, I think he got stopped like the 3 or 4 on the first drive against Buffalo last week. Just a slot guy, gadget guy, goes in motion, get him the ball quick, get him in space. He can make some plays. So I like that a lot. Reynolds, Yoshivas, these are guys that I'm just going to be, they're going to be in my pool. When I play Yoshivas, I'm probably more likely to play Browning. Reynolds for Fields. Part of the reason I say that is, like, even if they get 8 points on the slate, because salary doesn't really matter, it might not be optimal. I want them to truly hit their ceiling, which probably means they have to get in the box. And if they get in the box, their quarterback is more likely to score 17, 18, 19, which could be enough. So all of them, single digits down here. They help you get difference, pair them with your quarterback. It almost forces you to leave chunks of money, and then you can get a lot chalkier after that. So I most definitely will be playing the Washington, Mims, Reynolds of the world, Yoshivas, even though I'm not too excited about that. Mims, Washington, my clear favorites. Yeah, I don't really know if I have like a strong lean on who to fade in this range. They're all solid. It's like when I play Tua, I'm more likely to play Tyreek and Waddle, Browning with Chase, etc. I kind of think, like, comparing yesterday's slate, which is hard to do, but Puka, the clear chalk there, but no one was playing Stafford. Jamar Chase, the clear chalky receiver, but no one really playing Browning. Again, you can just get a wide receiver screen to Chase or a post or whatever, and he just takes it 70 yards himself because he's so good there. So when I am, again, playing Higgins, Yoshi, Chase, I'm probably more likely to play Browning. With that being said, I'll clearly play Chase as a one-off just because the nature of the slates, having all the money in the world in full point PPR. I don't think I really have anything else to add. Like Nick Westbrook-Akine, is he finally going to get in the box? You playing any of him?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. So
this isn't 2024.
Yeah, not on the Titans. But yeah, like the Yoshis, Reynolds, Mims, Washingtons of the world, you can get different there. Or if you just don't play Chase and you leave even more money, Waddle can outscore him, Higgins can outscore him, Sutton can outscore him, and you can go that way. I got nothing else there. Tight end position, you already hinted at it earlier. It could not be any grosser. Mm-hmm. Evan Ingram, the highest at 3.7K. Looking at ownership, we have 3 guys all getting some. Gesicki, Ingram, Mason Taylor. I don't know. Ingram's first game back. Gesicki seems like the best pass. Evan Ingram's the best real tight end. Gesicki's actually a solid pass catcher, but Drew Sample and Tanner Hudson will be back for this one. There is no Noah Fant. So when Fant was mixing in, they had 3 tight ends. Now there's no Fant. There is Tanner Hudson, though. I have no clue. I mean, Mason Taylor, Waller, his first game back, he'll be on a pitch count. We're not playing 2 tight ends, but which one of these tight ends is your favorite?
None. I mean, and this is as ugly as it gets. Like, just I guess the one thing is at least there's not just like Brock Bowers or Tyler Warren on the slate where everyone's just, all right, we're just playing him. Like, they're all shitty in their own way. And you got to play one. And I hopefully won't be playing two. I'm obviously going to run my teams, and I don't want this to be my flex spot. I don't know, man. Like, I guess Gesicki, because Fant's out, like, it would be my guy. Evan Ingram, Mason Taylor, maybe a little. I mean, this position could be won with 7 fantasy points. I mean, honestly, like, one touchdown could win the position. If someone has a catch and a touchdown, that could potentially win the position tonight, which is wild. So I guess considering that, like, I'm going to include even those $2,500 guys, Connor, Sample, Troutman. I'm not going to play a ton of them, but like 7 could win this position, which is crazy to say. I don't know. I'll just, run it and see what I get. If I had to pick one guy to be the guy, I guess it's just Gesicki, because they're probably playing from behind. Backup quarterback, maybe looking in the middle of the field, and you have the injury with Fant. So I don't know, whatever.
4.5 could win this position, and you need it. Like, I do. I mean, I can see all these guys pretty much getting a blank. Gesicki's in a 3-way split. Evan Ingram's first game back could be up a lot. Mason Taylor is my favorite. Nate just kind of hit on it, but second in routes for the Jets. Okay. Obviously, there is Justin Fields. Well, like, when wide receiver 2 is Josh Reynolds and all these other random guys, like, at least Mason Taylor is someone that could be in Fields' view.
Maybe that's what happens tonight. Like, tight end looks so nasty. 2 of these guys like go off for 20, and you need double tight end.
I won't be anywhere close to the winner then. But I do like your point. Like, I'm way more likely to play Sample, Rucker, Hudson, all of those guys than I am to play 2 tight ends. And a part of that is if any of those dudes fall in the box. I mean, we see the most random stuff on some of these games. You get to the red zone, you play action when there's 3 tight ends on the field, and it's just your guy that happens to get it, like Long or whatever in the Jags game yesterday. Like, 1 play action touchdown, 1 catch, 4 yards, and a touchdown. I would take that from any of these guys and want to be overweight. And I'm glad you said about the Bowers thing. Like, with this slate, and it's so concentrated on Chase, Achane, a lot of clear plays. I'm happy we have such a hard position that you're forced to play, because whoever scores the most at this position is going to be optimal. I don't think there's any arguing that. I'd be shocked if like Evan Ingram scored the most at this position, but he wasn't optimal.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah, it's the same with quarterback position too. It's like whoever scores the most is going to be on optimal, regardless of the correlation or anything else. So you need it, and like especially at tight end, like man, like it could be a very low score there. You're just going to need the guy, whoever it is.
Do you think? Probably not from how you sound. You don't have a strong lean, but like you're 50% on one guy, or you already said you're playing all these guys below. Just mix.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, probably just mix them in, and I don't know. It's so tough. And if someone says, "Oh, this is going to be the guy tonight," they're lying to you, because no one has any idea. Like no one knows. Do you have your preference? Yeah, but like it's a crapshoot.
No one knows anything. As we find out every Sunday.
Yes. That is
true. Waller. I mean, him or Ingram. I think Evan Ingram's definitely talented, but Waller's been away for a long time. I mean, I don't. Yeah. He has Tyreek. He has Achane. Like he has competition for targets as well. I don't hate it. Again, Mason Taylor is my favorite. After that, I don't have a strong lean at all. I'll probably. Yeah.
Someone did make that call. Who called it?
I was just saying when Tambo asked me about Chubb, I just said I'd prefer Woody. I think Woody's going to take over. I didn't expect to see that.
That was a good call, because I remember seeing the touchdown. I was like, yeah, someone spoke positively about him on the show.
Yeah, it just, I mean, the eye test wise, I think Chubb's like, I just thought he was kind of past, and Woody with the young legs, and Texans kind of saw clear. The snaps were still relatively close with Chubb. It was night and day when Woody was on the field. So I saw some people hit parlays. Glad it helped some people. Didn't help me over here, so I'm not victory lapping it. Anything else at the tight end position? Otherwise, we can go to defense. Looking at ownership, Broncos the clear best. Again, it feels like for defense, whoever scores the most points at this position will be optimal. Yeah. So I think you just go, who do you think can outscore the Broncos? I mean, anyone, because it could be a punt return from the Bengals. Or anything, just the most random stuff. But what are you doing?
Yeah, it's just one play, really, with defense. I mean, one punt return, kickoff return, interception for 6, and any of the defenses could do it. So I'm going to play them and kind of just roll with whatever I get. I mean, obviously, who do I think scores the most points at defense? Probably Denver at home, tough spot to play, favored by a ton, going up against a backup quarterback. Like, they're probably the defense that scores the most, but they're not a lock to be the defense that scores the most. So I'll be playing them all to some degree.
Yeah, I agree. Bengals are clearly my least favorite because I think the Broncos run the ball a lot.
Yeah.
Tua can make a lot of mistakes. So seeing the Jets as the second lowest own, I'm totally fine with that. Dolphins against Fields. Fields likes to run around, create plays in the backfield. That has opportunities for some points. So it's the clear Broncos. But in tournaments at a very volatile position, if you're getting chalkier, you're playing Chase, Achane, Knicks, all of that. Maybe that's where you go to the defense and get different that way. So no strong takes at the defense. Anything as far as we're going to the stack exposure. Again, if we see a 4x2, or if I see a 4x2 on a Sunday 11-game main slate, more times than not, I'm unchecking that. I'm at least seeing what the lineup looks like, but I'm usually not playing it. Not the case on a 2-game slate. I think it's very common to onslaught one of these games, hope the other one completely busts. So anything in terms of what you're going to do in the stack exposure column?
Just letting it go. I mean, I do get somewhat specific on Sundays with the full slate with what I want to see. Not specific, but I will, like you, kind of exclude some of the stuff I don't like. See how many no quarterback stack am I getting. I'll look at it today. I'm not looking at it at all. I mean, you go to the settings, and this is preset from Sabre. I mean, they have the correlation set to low, right? That's the way it is on a 2-game slate. It's preset to it's preset to 2. So that should tell you correlation really doesn't matter all that much on the slate. You're just picking guys. Definitely, especially Justin Fields. Don't think you have to play him with Garrett Wilson today or Mason Taylor or whatever. Unless I might pop in here, and if I see something just wild off the wall, then maybe I'll exclude it. But I just plan on just letting it run, man.
I'm with you, especially on a slate. Again, we keep talking about it, but it's the most important thing when pricing is pretty much irrelevant, and the highest quarterback will probably be optimal, the highest scoring tight end, the highest scoring defense. Correlation has to be completely down there. It's as random as it gets. Showdown, even a little more random. In one game, anything can happen, but 2 games is a lot more like Showdown than it is a main slate. Yep. You're playing a dupe game. You're trying to get different. 3% owned guy, Lazard. Let's go to receiver. Lazard, Smith, Sherfield, Akine, Johnson. Any of those guys get in the box, people will play them in the largest field stuff. And I think that's the thing I'll round it out with before I throw it to you, coming up on an hour to get on out of here. But what contest you play in? Is there 100 people in it? Is there 1,000 people in it? Is there 20,000? Is there 80,000? You should be building a lot differently depending on what that is. Tell yourself, hand building, a game script. I think these games go like this. If I am not playing Bo Nix, I'm more likely to play Dobbins Harvey. If I'm playing Bo Nix, I'm more likely to play Mims. Just little things like that. Tell yourself a story, make it make sense. Because how the game scripts go really determines a lot of the times what the optimal looks like at the end of the day. So be cognizant on that. Any final thoughts for you?
Yeah, the one thing I think is really important, like we kind of talked about, is how you play Jamar Chase, just because so many people are just going to jam him in there because you have the salary to play him. So, if you're hand building, building 3-5 teams, whatever it is, just be careful with how you play him because you're going to be able to play him basically on any team. You're going to be able to fit him in there and play him. And, I don't think the spot's, particularly good. And the quarterback throwing the ball to him is not all that good. So yes, I'm going to still play him, but I want to be careful with how we play him. Got the showdown stuff too. We'll have content for that on the website. But yeah, the primary focus here is going to be obviously that 2-game slate. Big prize pool on DK, FanDuel, big prizes as well. So excited for this one. I mean, I wish the games were a little bit better, but hey, we have 2 NFL football games on a Monday night, and I'm happy about that.
Exactly, and $500,000 to first place. So You absolutely cannot complain. Again, if you do want to join us at the Nation, shipination.com, as you can see right here, you ship the SHIPIT prizes, almost $80,000. I know one of these weeks that share of SHIP's going to go out there and raise those prizes, but hey, nobody out there giving away $80,000 in cash and prizes. Shout out to SaberSim. We ourselves put up $50,000. Again, no one's doing that. Want to give back, wanted to make it fun for you, and you still can be eligible. Even if you're not a member yet and you do join, you still are eligible and start racking up ballots. You get more ballots for the longer you are here, but you can still get in the share of SHIP, the winner take all 199. I saw Tambo took second in that, not that he would have won it anyway, but cool stuff there. Join the Nation, and you can see all the different packages. Football only. If you want SaberSim, you can see the multiple SaberSim. The starter is the best deal, in my opinion. Gets you a second set of projections, gets you to be able to build 500 teams. Again, the price will go up. $139, absolutely no better deal. Gets you in the Discord too, the best community around. If you just want content, you can see all different options as well. College football, MMA, NASCAR, MLB playoffs, NBA, PGA. I mean, there is so much going on. We would love to have you at the Nation. Hoop, final thoughts before we get on out of here.
Yeah, good luck to everyone in the contest tonight. Big prize pools like we talked about. And yeah, if you're not a member, get on over, join us, get in the Discord. Discord is very active, very friendly community environment for everyone. So love to have you. And let's get those Ship It Nation logos up to the top of the leaderboard tonight. That's
absolutely. Good luck to everyone out there. Or hoop, I'm titled. Be safe. Good luck. Peace.